Is the situation urgent enough for Russia to deploy TU-22M3 bombers to Crimea and closer to the battle zone? Militarny reveals that Russia has redeployed 16 TU-22M3 bombers, armed with Kh-22 and Kh-32 supersonic cruise missiles from the Far East to the Olenya airfield in the Murmansk region, placing them closer to Ukraine. How threatening could this be? Let's dive deeper. The skies above Olenya airbase trembled with the roar of engines, announcing the awakening of an aerial giant. At first, monitoring channels detected the movement of only 9 aircraft, a number already alarming enough to trigger loud warnings in Air Defense Headquarters. But that tension soon turned into silent panic as the count continued to rise, confirming that the Russian Air Force wasn't merely conducting routine drills. They were assembling a massive orchestration of air power. On that frigid runway, the legendary TU-22M3, the feared Backfire, was preparing to bare its fangs once more, carrying a message of inevitable destruction for anyone daring to challenge the sovereignty of the Red Bear. The threat posed by the TU-22M3 stationed at Olenya is far from empty. Located about 1,800 kilometers from the border, the base offers Russia safe strategic depth, yet for the TU-22M3, that distance is just a small leap. With a maximum combat radius of 2,410 kilometers while carrying a lethal payload of up to 12,000 kilograms, this bomber turns the battlefield map into a chessboard where Russia holds decisive control. Imagine such an enormous reach. From its launch point near the Arctic Circle, the aircraft can strike deep into the heart of enemy territory, hitting critical targets without needing aerial refueling. There's no true hiding place when the shadow of the TU-22M3 Delta wing sweeps across the radar screen. However, the real fear is not the aircraft itself, but the sharp claws hanging beneath its wings, the Kh-22 missile and its modern variant, the Kh-32. In military circles, these missiles are known as a nightmare for any air defense system. When intelligence reports indicate that Russia may be preparing a large-scale missile strike using these variants, opposing air defense operators know they are facing a problem that is almost impossible to solve. The Kh-22 is no ordinary missile. It is a supersonic monster born from Cold War ambition, designed with one terrifying purpose: to destroy United States aircraft carrier battle groups. Powered by a dual-mode R-200-1300 liquid-fueled jet engine, the missile accelerates at insane speed, reaching Mach 3.5 to Mach 4.6. Imagine a projectile weighing nearly 6 tons tearing through the atmosphere at hypersonic velocity, flying at an altitude of more than 22 kilometers on the edge of space before diving sharply toward its target. These extreme speeds and altitudes make the Kh-22 exceptionally difficult, almost impossible for standard air defense systems to intercept. Its 960-kilogram conventional warhead is the very definition of total destruction. Although often criticized for its low accuracy, with a circular error that can reach up to 5 kilometers in passive mode, this actually adds to its terror factor. The missile does not need to hit a building's window to be effective. Its massive explosion and the kinetic energy of its impact are enough to flatten a wide area, making it a devastating area effect weapon. The evolution of Russian military technology does not stop there. The Kh-32 emerged as a deadlier modern reincarnation. It stands as proof of the resilience of the Russian defense industry, capable of reviving and perfecting Soviet-era legacy systems. Although it uses the same airframe as its predecessor, the missile has undergone a complete transformation. By reducing the warhead size to enlarge the fuel tank, Russian engineers managed to double its range to 600 to 1,000 kilometers. Beyond that, its guidance system has been replaced with an advanced jam-resistant radar inertial suite. The missile now has sharper eyes and a smarter brain, capable of radio command corrections and terrain reference navigation, making it immune to enemy electronic interference. The Kh-32 is an evolved predator, combining the raw speed of its predecessor with the precision of the digital age. The terrifying power of Russia became unmistakably clear on the morning of November 19th, when the skies over Ukraine blazed once again. Russia launched a coordinated airstrike operation with deadly precision, a multi-vector assault that reminded the world of Moscow's air dominance. Explosion after explosion rocked the regions of Khmelnytsky, Ivano-Frankivsk, Rivne, Lviv, and Dnipropetrovsk just before dawn, shattering the morning calm and striking the opponent's strategic infrastructure. Local authorities reported that more than 48 cruise and ballistic missiles were launched, an unstoppable rain of fire. The attack did not rely solely on the TU-22M3, but also called upon two other legends of Russian strategic aviation, the TU-160 White Swan and the TU-95 Bear. The TU-160, the largest and heaviest supersonic aircraft in military aviation history, is an aerodynamic masterpiece with variable sweep wings that allow it to soar beyond Mach 2, leaving enemy interceptors far behind. Meanwhile, the TU-95, with its iconic contra-rotating propellers, continues to prove that a robust design can stand the test of time, capable of flying thousands of kilometers without pause. Both of these giants have the ability to launch long-range Kh-101 and Kh-555 cruise missiles from extremely safe distances, far beyond the reach of enemy air defenses. The Kh-101 missile, in particular, represents the pinnacle of Russia's cruise missile technology. Unlike the brutal supersonic Kh-22, the Kh-101 is a silent killer. With its stealth design that reduces radar cross-section, the missile can infiltrate even the most advanced air defense networks, flying low along the contours of the Earth to strike targets with surgical precision. The combination of the hypersonic speed of the Kh-22 and Kh-32 with the long-range stealth capabilities of the Kh-101 creates an unsolvable defensive dilemma for the enemy. The strike on November 19 was a perfect demonstration of power, with missiles launched from both sea and air simultaneously, overwhelming radar systems and air defense batteries to the breaking point. This operation was not merely a military attack. It was a firm geopolitical statement. By targeting infrastructure in western and central Ukraine, Russia underscored the ongoing vulnerability of cities that had long felt safe due to their distance from the front lines. The dominance of Russian bombers has returned in full force, affirming that not a single inch of enemy territory lies beyond the long reach of Moscow. The synergy between strategic bases like Olenya, legendary bombers, and advanced missiles creates a superior combat ecosystem, ensuring that the initiative in the air remains firmly in the hands of the Russian Air Force. For Russia's adversaries, the sky is no longer a protective ceiling, but a gateway to destruction that can open at any moment. That's all for today, and thanks for watching.